Supermodels hangout. Yeah. I'm so stupid. I'm so freaking stupid. I didn't even let me on the internet. I know. Yeah. I have no idea. All right. Oh, that's fine. It's beginning to look a lot like Richmas. It's beginning to look a lot like fish sticks. Fish sticks. Everywhere you go. Yeah, wonder if I can actually. Oh, there we go. A little more. There we go. Not for human consumption. Raw cow's milk for pets. No! Graham crackers. Yeah, well, yeah, graham crackers. I got the graham crackers. Oh, freaking nice. Welcome to Supermodels Hangout. I'm your host. Alright. I got something in my teeth. I love graham crackers. Oops. Yeah, one. I think my cat farted. Either that, my butt cheeks stink, yo. 10 late. Yeah. Oops. Come on. Get the milk. Get the milk. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Baby, you're so good. Hi. It's beginning to look a lot like Richmas. Hey, everywhere you go. It's beginning to look a lot like syphilis. Oh boy. Oh, I broke my laptop. It's beginning. Welcome to Our Cheese. Our Cheese? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's up, Our Cheese? Welcome to the frickin' supermodel sing-along. I noticed you're all alone. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. I woke up, had a found out what up, Disquini. Thank you for the supermodel hangout. Hello, everybody. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Disquini. I forgot what I was talking about. So I woke up, accidentally slept in too late, or took a nap. When you're old and you take a nap, it's risky. So I took a nap for a half hour, and it ended up being like 4.5 hours. So I wanted to sleep from like 8 to 8:30, and here it is, midnight. So I tried my best. So now I'm awake, and it's midnight. What's up, Skylina? Skylinsk. Hold on. What in the world is Sky? Skylina Switzer. Wow, my brain can't put stuff together. They call me Our Cheese. Darlene Cleveland. You look like my shop teacher, Mr. Benishevitz, or Mr. Chit. Who's mine? Tchaikovsky? Not Tchaikovsky. Who was my shop teacher? Chenoweth. What was yours name? I will sing for you, Disquini. What's up, Avon? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Absolutely, Disquini. Thanks for swinging back in, Avon. Thank you, Skylina. Skylina, is that your name? And are you from Switzerland, or is your name Skylina Switzer? Because that's as awesome admitting as a name as Ava Furling. Nice Merry Christmas. I really appreciate you guys swinging in here. Thank you very much. I really Farring. I know. You just corrected me before. You can't expect me to remember everything. You're not from Switzerland? Ava's from Switzerland. Mary Chrysler. Darling. His name is Mr. Fletcher. Wow. Dang, Darlene. So I went to school in Baltimore, well, Glen Burnie, Maryland. And I mean, if it wasn't for shop class, I would have failed. Double tap the screen and I'll sing something. No, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, right. So my first period, my first class of the day was metal shop or wood shop, and I showed up like 45 minutes late with like a 52-minute class. I ended up passing both classes and getting into independent study. I built a not a hoverboard, a hovercraft that kids could sit on. We could go down the hallway with. I used 2 sheets of plywood. 1 sheet of plywood couldn't have 2 4-foot circles, and a tractor trailer inner tube was my bladder, and an air conditioning vacuum cleaner motors to blow the air in, and it's easy for $40 you can build a hovercraft, and it's cool. It can drive over eggs without breaking them and stuff like that. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Disquini. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's do this. Let me change this. Disquini. Did I spell that right? Burr. Let me see if I did it right. DSQ. There we go. There we go. All right, there we go. Disquini's birthday. Get out my face. Get out my face. There we go. Happy birthday. Let's get a fit check. All right. I don't have my shirt tucked in, but we can get a fit check. There you go. You got the fit check, girl. Skylina is happy birthday. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I need a red carpet, Josh. Hey, sorry I didn't call you out before, Joshy. Thank you. Yeah, dude. I would love to have a red carpet. And the thing is, so I worked in the movie industry for 15 years. So we did a lot of red carpet type events. And I used to carry a roll, a 4 foot wide, 4 foot wide roll of red carpet that was like 50 feet long. It's easy to carry around in your trunk. And I remember thinking when I was younger, I was going to carry it around in my trunk. And whenever I was going to like pick up a date, like have like my first date with a girl, I would show up to the restaurant first, roll out the red carpet, then go pick her up and bring her back. And she'd be like, "Oh my God, red carpet for her." I'd be like, "It's for you, baby. Give me your hand." Never did it though. Still have time to. I'm not married yet, so I can still have time. I thought it'd be hilarious. Imagine how great that would go. Maybe not the first date, but maybe like the third, fourth date, maybe even like 40th date, just out of nowhere. Like on your way home from work, roll the red carpet out in front of a restaurant, go pick your wife or girlfriend up, clean up, go out to dinner and be like, "Huh, I wonder what this is for." So now, is there somebody famous here? Like, it must be for somebody really important, somebody really gorgeous. So, oh, I know who it is. And then you walk around her side of the car and she's like, who? And open the door and be like, "You." Grab her hand, get her out of the car. She's like, I worked for 15 years on movies. Avengers Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and 3, Jumanji 2, Disney's Jungle Cruise, Black Adam, a bunch of shows and stuff. Stranger Things, bunch of stuff. I'm dot Disquini. Yeah. If you have any questions, I've got old photographs of like when we were working on like the buildings. Spence, what's up, brother? What up, Spence? Yeah, I got a lot of photographs and stuff of back in the day. I've worked with, and I did prop making, so I built. You know what you got to do? Have a nice suit on under some regular, under some regular clothes. Rip off the old clothes and have a nice, and then have the red carpet. Yeah. Okay. Next date I have. Next big date I have with a nice woman. I'll do it and we'll film it. I'll have somebody set up the the carpet and set the camera up, so then and then I'll have a mic in the car. I got a little clip on mic so I can record it and be like, "Hey, looks got a red carpet out. Looks like somebody important. Must be somebody beautiful. Who do you think it is? Who do you think? I don't know. It's you, baby. I'm gonna. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I promise. I promise. I'll put it in the show notes. I've been feeling way better. Stop thinking about girls and just talk to friends. More happier. Right. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Listen. I'll tell you why. The people that run the world, they're called elites. They don't want everybody to be elite, or there would be no elites. Everybody would just be the same. So they do things that make you not do as well as them. Like start thinking about sex and girlfriends at a very young age. Don't worry about dating. Don't worry about kissing until you got a job and everything and you're ready to get married. Dating is a lie. That's basically prostitution. Don't worry about none of that shit till you get married. You'll be super rich. Most of the money that men and women spend their money on that they could save for their children and stuff and good vacations, they spend on wigs and nails and makeup and bullshit. If they don't do any of that until they're ready to get married, they would have hundreds of thousands of dollars. But everybody's like, I don't have any money. I only make $3,000 a day, but my butt cheeks smell like floral print underpants. And now it's like, shut up. And it's very simple. Yeah, so wait till you're ready to get married. Don't be like, oh, I haven't kissed anybody and I'm only 7. Who cares? I didn't kiss anybody until I was 20. Uh, but yeah, brother. Yeah, like I said, I'll help you however I can. Works versus faith is a false dichotomy once again. Letting you, oh yeah, absolutely. Letting everybody, Tommy, wait until you stop wanting a wife and start wanting to be a husband. Even better advice. Right, because right, we have no idea what we got to do. Skylina, Skylina, Skylina's in the chat. My butt cheeks smell like cat. Skylina's in the chat. Tommy Garson. Tommy Garson. I have been dealing with my friend though. He's way stupider and immature than me, and he's 2 years older. Brother, listen. You become who you hang out with. I, listen. I'm not. I understand you're in like in high school now and whatnot, but you need to surround yourself with people who are like who you want to be. And I'm not talking about the guys that kiss the girls. I'm talking about who you want to be in life. Decide what you want to do for a living and how you want to spend your years on this earth. Quit calling yourself an atheist and realize that atheists are just liars and morons. It's obvious that God exists. There's the reason that we're here. So get past that bullshit. I'm a scientist. I'm secular. No, you're too stupid. No one. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the way people act. They're too stupid to spend the time. Their friend in second grade said, "There's no God. I'm a scientist," and then no one ever takes the time to actually look into it. And then when you do, you're like, "Oh my goodness, there's all this evidence." So it's like figure that out. Hi, bye, 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 bye. Right, so get that. Listen, all the answers, even if you're not religious, read the freaking Bible. All the answers, how people act, how businesses act, how governments act, how jerks act, how evil people act, how good people act. It's all in there. And then life is so much easier to figure out. I waited till I was old to do it. I wish I would have read it at 15. And you take a year, just read it little by little every day. And you're like, oh my goodness, everything makes sense now. Oh, that's why she said that. Oh, that's why he said that. And the thing is, yeah, I'm telling you. What up, Yogi? Read Ethiopia. Read any Bible. Just start reading one. Ethiopian's definitely a good one. But yeah, I agree, Yogi. He's 15. I think 14, 15. So whatever Bible, anything that has the Torah. If you want to see fire and brimstone and war and love and hate and all that good stuff, and then obviously the Gospels. So any Bible that's got the Gospels in it. But yeah, and life. Listen. People tell you God doesn't exist because they want to be able to do better than you in life. The secrets to the life is in the Bible. Read it, even if you're not religious. Figure it out. All the answers are in there. Think about what you haven't read. Well, I haven't read the Bible. Well, I'm not religious. Well, okay, well, probably because you haven't read the Bible. But why is the Bible the best selling book and has been since forever? And people just don't talk about it. I'm talking about it. I've tried helping him. Stop. You can't help anybody yet. Hold on, let me finish what we're saying. I've tried helping him, but not anymore because talking to him is talking to a wall. The Bible has four authors written, or sorry, 40 authors. 40 people came together and wrote it over, there's 66 books to the Bible, 40 authors written over 3 continents over thousands of years. So it's a huge storybook. But if you want to say who people on multiple continents on the planet have had the same stories. They had the same dreams, the same visions, met the same people. And then when they all got together, they were like, oh my goodness, this was obviously God telling us what. And then they started writing things down. And then other people were like, oh my goodness, me too, me too, me too. Well, maybe let's see. And then there's all these stories. Then Jesus Christ was born, and that made all those prophecies come true. All right, let's see. Yeah, don't talk to people that are like talking to a brick. What's up, fat? Unc is wearing a shirt today. I think it's about today. I wiped my butt today, fat brother. I wiped it. I figured I might as well show this shit off. I'm old. Beyond that, there's apocryphal text. Hold on, wait a second. Along that supplemental with the first book of Enoch and second, right? So there's a lot. He's 15. Start with the freaking Bible. Figure that shit out. All Democrats, Republicans, everything makes sense once you read the Bible. You'll know all their joke, all their bullshit. You'll realize what's going on. Okay, beyond that, there are apocryphal texts, correct, which are good to read, but not necessarily canonical. Exactly true. So the books that didn't make it into the Bible for whatever reason, either because they're repeats, and remember, back in the day, paper was very expensive. Things that, animal skins and carving tablets were very expensive. So you didn't want to repeat yourself so many times. So other texts didn't make it in, but they still exist to know, oh, wow, this guy wrote about this also. Also, don't try to read it all at once. No, well, absolutely not. Right, absolutely not. Read it for like 5 minutes. I read it every morning before my feet hit the floor. Typically. Sometimes I gotta poop. Realizing now just how insane reading the list I gave. Yeah, dude. Spencer says, yeah, I'm tired of him. He always talks to me. And he makes these videos about wanting to get with cartoon characters. I'll explain later. And I will look into the Bible. Definitely good. Dude, listen. Everything makes more sense. You have to ask yourself, why are there so many religious people on this planet? Whether it be Muslims or Christians or Catholics or whatever. But the Muslim book tells it says to read the Torah and the Gospels. That's the Bible. So if there are 1.5 billion people has a book that says read the Bible, and then you have Christians and Baptists and everything that says also read the Bible. Read the freaking Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth, and everything will start making more sense. Everything will. But yeah, dude, I just never cared. Right, dude, right, listen. Right, why would you? Why would you care, right? Spencer, the only advice anyone can give you that will always be true and useful is not to worry too much about it and never let your spirits fall. Life gets so much better once you realize this. Hold on, let's put it this way. People that want all your money and all your everything, all your time, they say they don't believe in God, and they don't want you to believe in God because they want you to believe you only have so much time on this planet, then it's just black. So now you're super scared. Once you realize, and you look at all the evidence, and you realize that we're created, then you can be like, shut up to those people because they're idiots. And you realize that there's all this stuff. It's very liberating, right? And it'll help you And now you'll have something in common with uh, almost 2 billion people. It'll give you something to talk about. Instead of just saying you're funny and whatever, now you can talk about, hey, dude, did you ever read Genesis? Did you ever read John chapter 3? And then you'll have all this, and these are great stories, which is better. And I see how you are with this movie and that movie and Taxi Driver, this and that. But that's Hollywood bullshit. These people actually existed. So instead of talking, and you were just talking about your friend wants to bang cartoon characters. Well, I can see why he says that to you, because you talk about how you want to be like fictional characters. The Bible is true. It's true stories. It's history. It's a history book. So you could talk about people that actually existed. And then you can say, I want to be like this guy. And then you could read how he grew up and how he found God and it's great. It's not just like, oh, orange milk and no, that's not how it reads. It's like, oh my God, the sky lit open and freaking Deuce's face came down with a sword and shoved it into Black's face chest, and his blood pumped out on the blade, and he wiped it off with his tongue, and then freaking stabbed his best friend's chicken. That's what's in the Bible. Everybody, no, they don't. They read the Bible and they found a way to scam people, and because they're demons. They're demons. If you read the Bible, you can see where the scams are. Because you say, I see what you're doing. You're the bad guy in the Bible. That means you're a bad guy in real life. Just do it. It makes life so much easier. I'm not telling. You're gonna basic instructions before liberating Earth. My apologies, Yogi. Sorry. You're gonna have people like me and Mr. Streamer over there constantly uh, spitting advice at you. Um, uh, that the noise is going to screw with your head level, but if you let it too much, exactly. Don't most stuff we hear is noise. I recommend, if you want to take over the world and feel good about doing it and helping people along the way, rather than taking over the world and hurting people along the way, read the frickin' Bible. Spend the next 10 years reading a little bit every day. And every day your life will get better. You'll notice things. You'll be able to say, hey, what did this mean? And then all of a sudden you have 30, you'll go to school with your Bible in hand, and girls that are into the Bible will be like, hey, Spence, I didn't know you were reading the Bible. And then you're like, oh my God, all I use. Now, if you do it to start getting at girls, you're going to get screwed. You have to actually know what you're talking about. So get into it. It's like with any hobby, but the Bible is a hobby that ends up with your soul not being tortured in hell for the rest of your life. All right. I'm not telling you not to think. You should be consistently thinking about it and seeking the truth. But above all, never let yourself fall in despair. Right. And you have to understand that there's great stuff in there. All the people who fuck with me, they can fuck off. At least I got friends and family, I guess. You definitely got God. And through God, you'll find true friends and family. See, that's a good thing about understanding and reading those parts of the Bible is you see where it says, if you have no earthly father, God's your father. And then you'll see. It's great. You'll see. It's great. What's up, Kat? Suspenseful says, also, I like the characters. They are all well made, but I don't usually want to do that. It doesn't matter. You'll figure it out. Listen, you'll figure it out. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of death and dishonor and honor and love and hate and a lot of love and peace and war and everything. Anything, you'll start seeing that a lot of people, storytellers and stuff, they take things out of the Bible and then they make them like Star Wars, Harry Potter. Those are all stories. Jesus' stories. They just added magic and stuff to it. Instead of swords, they use lightsabers. Actually, saying, yeah, I just woke up, Kat. I was gonna make a cup of coffee, but then I started pacing around and singing and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I never said I wanted to be the characters. The characters were. Oh, gotcha. Okay, whatever. Oh, I also said I like the characters. Okay, right. Listen, I know. My point is, when you start talking to people and say, instead of saying this guy in this movie and this guy in that movie, played by this guy and that guy. You can say this guy in the Bible, and then the person knows what kind of person you are. You're a person that can be trusted, and you're good to be around, and their kids can be around you, and because you actually have morals. People that don't have any kind of religiosity just say, "Oh, the morals, my moral compass is from what everyone else agrees is true." Okay, so if everybody agrees that rape is true, is there rape good? Right, and there's the problem. And the reason we have morals from the Bible is it says man is made in God's image. So doing thing against any man or woman is doing something against God. That's where we get our morals. But so yeah, okay. I had a really nice nap. I just woke up from my nap. I meant to take a half-hour nap from like 7:30 to 8 or whatever. And I woke up at midnight-ish. A little bit too. I really had a nice nap. All right, well, oh, I guess I'll just finish making my coffee. All right, let me see. Man, I'm exhausting myself, running around like a madman. I probably just had 1,000 damn wackadoos. Now I forgot what I was doing. Um, uh, I miss. I had a really nice nap. Yeah, nap. My name is Nap. I got the clap. Sometimes I got the underwear with the back flap. Oh, that's fine. I'm dreaming of white Christmas, like the one I know. Rain, there we go. Let's see if I can not break this here. Oh, that's a little wackadoodle. Let's see over here. Oh, that's loud. There we go. Hola. She's earning barley. All right, get to bed. I'm gonna drink my coffee and I'll probably fall back to sleep. Let me see if I can fix this here. Bang. Drop. Plus. Start a Q&A. What do you want for done? Start Q&A. Bam. All right, there we go. I need to iron my clothes. Achoo! You know, I should probably do. Let me see. I wonder if I could fit all this fluid in me. Probably make me pee myself. Oops. That might have been bad. Yeah, boy. Cows freaking milk. Yeah. Do not drink. Don't drink and drive. Okay, let's get some sugar. All right. Let's see. I don't know what that does. I'm streaming. I'm streaming, boy. Christmas. There goes the emotions. There goes the emotions. You got a little bit of sugar in. Oh, that's a lot of sugar. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Uh oh. I'm streaming of a white Christmas. You're the one I know. That's my throat. All right. Let's see. So we got some wackadoodle, and we had some frickin' chocolate. Hey, Richard Rich. What's going on, Tommy? I got a question. Bring it on, my friend. Bring it on, Tommy got home. Bring it on. I'm streaming. I'm streaming the white room. I asked not because I need your help, because I'm curious about your opinion. Oh, sure, absolutely. Bring it on. What is the problem? Oh, let me pour my coffee real quick so I don't burn myself. The priesthood? Okay. All right. I'm going to be honest with you. We're talking about of today, right? Not like of today, like the priesthood of today, how things are, big churches. I think all that shit needs to burn down. Now, hold on. Now, like, I think we should have thousands of small churches. I think we should have a church in every, just like there's a liquor store in every neighborhood. We need a church in every neighborhood. And then, like, that would keep people fine. When you take care of too many families and too much money's involved, it's very easy to corrupt people. It, I would like to I would like to see smaller churches, maybe grand churches in like city centers. But when it comes to priests and stuff like that, I think there needs to be local priests. Now I understand the need, especially in Catholicism. When you need to tell confessions and stuff like that, the importance. But dude, I think it would be so much better to have the local, the local clergy. Like, it's your uncle's freaking roommate in college that's now the priest, and he gets paid like the tithing bullshit. If you've got 20 families that go to your church, and you're the priest, let's say, of that church, the father, whatever, and everybody tithes 10%, then that gives you enough money to pay for the building and the rent and all that stuff, and it gives you enough money to make the average income of everybody in your community. So that's why I think tithing's good. But then when they say, well, let's make a 75,000 square meter, freaking 75,000 seat super church, so that when I say, give me 10% of your money, you're making hundreds of millions of dollars. That shit's messed up. I think that needs to be burnt down. What up, Throw? No more. That's funny, Throw. No more gun stores. But it's kind of hard for me to understand the low church. Hold on, let me get. Let me low church for a second. Outlines the creation of an apostle. Right. Okay. Hold on. Now, do you believe churches are buildings? Do you believe it's got to be mass buildings and whatnot? I think, and there's a lot of reading I got to do. I think church is church is in you. Now, I think there should be gathering places, and I understand those are called churches, they're called temples, they're called mosques. I think church is at home, and we need to be. It's supposed to be God, man, woman, child. And that's the order of the church in your home. And if you have someone that's reading the Bible daily, that's their job basically in your community. There should be somebody that I could walk not 5 minutes from my house, knock on the door and say, Father, I need some assistance. And he'd be like, well, because you guys give me 10% of your income and there's 20 families in this neighborhood, I've got enough money to get 100% income for myself and money for the actual building that we're calling the church. But the problem was back in the day, especially with current religions, throw, too many humans have put their fingers in the pot. So the Bible, we can't, if there's no adding to the Bible or removing from the Bible, we don't have a version of so, but yeah, but I don't think churches were ever supposed to get super church size. So, and if you talk about the priest, the high priest, low priest, the ones that can get to God, they're not talking about mega churches. They're talking about people that actually can have communications with church. And there you go. And like that also smears in a bunch of stuff. Yeah, dude, it gets. I think if I was to change anything, I think church should be at home, and we should have community centers, religious community centers, and like if you want to hire whatever, that you put your money where your mouth is. If you're whatever you are, and you have somebody that's basically paid to read the Bible and paid to answer your questions, paid off of our own dime. We're Mrs. I am the temple, right? Your body is the temple, right? And I agree with that 100%. Hello, throwaway. Well, the church should operate in a way of building. The church should operate by the way of buildings, of course, right? The collection of man-made structures is not the full. Right. 100%, 100%. The church's bride. The church is Christ's bride. The ecclesia, right? The assembly. What? Right. So, like, the church can be This is one thing I want to go back to my other point. The church isn't a building. If you are reading the Bible to your wife and kids, that's the church. That's your church. Your church is the gathering of people like that you should be talking about your salvation to. That's the most thing, and then how to get through life. Like I answer questions every day from kids that are confused. And the thing is, if they would have read what I read, they wouldn't have been confused. So I try to say, I don't want to make it my job to answer their questions. I want to tell them where to find the questions, or find the answers to the questions and the questions that are in there also. It's like, hey, I'm going to tell you that this is from the Bible. This is how I live life. This is how I dealt with it, and this is where you can find it too. So don't pay for doctors for wackadoodle stuff when you can, you know, crack your toenails. I don't know what I was about to say. Right. There's got to be, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to keep when the government gets involved with churches and religion. And this is a problem that I have with Islam. Their government is it's intertwined with their religion, and I think there's too much power to be had there. Like I and same with Mormonism, and same with a lot of those. Ultimately, a lot of money moves, and I don't think that's the way it should be. I think there should be. I think priests should be like beggars. Hold on, where when you go to a priest to ask for information, because either you can't just like a tutor. A tutor is a better name. So yes, you pay the tutor for their time, and that's how I think it should be. And the reason that churches need buildings is if there's a hurricane and this and that, or if your food stamps get cut off and you need a place to lay your head, there's a building that you can go into and lay your head, and people can come by and say, okay, you're part of my jam. I'm going to help you, so I'll bring food by and whatnot. But we don't need mega churches. That shit's just that's wackadoo stuff. Okay, that was way too much. I should have drank all that. churches are the churches that lock their doors. Right, 100%, 100%, absolutely not. Hold on, let me change. Absolutely not. You're correct. You're correct. Right. Churches never used to lock their doors. But then you have a bunch of wackadoos freaking make the world a nutty ass place. It's Logan. I want to see my girlfriend for the first time. Logan. What up, lamb? What are you doing? Oh, you got a ticket to the. Okay, hold on. What I miss? What I just can't understand is the non-apostolic church. I know it's just repeating what every high church guy has said. You know, the point of contention. Listen, the church should be your neighborhood people, dude. Like that. If anybody is telling you, oh, he's high church, he's a public church, that's wackadoodle. That's freaking nuts shit. That's none of that shit should happen at all. And it's because it's ultimately, and then they start talking to you about tithes. I want you to come to my church. No. That shouldn't be the way it is at all. And that's why there's too much money in it. There shouldn't be any money in it. Like, if you want to be super rich and a pastor, figure out a way to get super rich not using your community's freaking wackadoo. Yeah, but separating state and religion is a bad idea. And yeah, no one get lost. So hold on. So you can base your government off of your religion. The problem I find is your scholars have too much control over your people, and they sway with the politics. That's what I'm gonna say. About boom. No ticket, no laundry. Okay, all right. Oh, just woke. Oh, right. It's 6 a.m. for you, right? 6:30, 7:30. I can't even remember. Dude, it's supposed to get to 24 degrees tomorrow night. So the problem with not separating church and state is state constantly changes. And that takes the ancientism out of your documents. Like, when's the last time a biblical document or Christian document was written? Was 2,000 years ago. And like, it's like we had laws like the Christian Bible tells you to follow the laws of the land. When you find scholars that say, hey, I interpreted this differently, and that's when I get online, dude, it's a freaking crapshoot. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't. Somebody's got to sit down with me because I can't, dude. I'm starting to read into people added religious stuff for personal gain and for what they wanted. And it's too obvious to me, and that's what they. So I said, but then again, I can't. I'm not an Arabic whack, so I might be reading the English. That's not, no, like. But it's you can't. They're like in America, you can't amend the Bible. And so we can make laws, and then we can say, hey, that goes against the Bible. But so what we did in America is we wrote a constitution based on biblical principles. So then you can't make any law. So then we separated church and state by not separating church and state. We based the state on not the church, but the church's principles. So anybody can have a what you call it. The problem I have with addendums, like newer addendums to religions, is somebody said, oh, okay, somebody didn't like somebody, so they wrote this, and now every freaking person in that religion's got to believe it. You're asking your parents for $3,000. 5:24 a.m. 5:24 a.m. Yeah, that's okay. Ask them for it. I don't know why you want a $3,000 PC. Why not an $800 PC and then spend the $2,200 on something else? You, I believe the church is always above the state. I believe that too, 100%. But I don't mind a state which is religious and therefore under the direct influence of the church. And that's the thing about American government is you have secular people that if the majority of the people that vote in our society want someone non-godly, they can vote them in. And then once we see them ruin everything because they find their morals in a trash can, then we can vote them out. But then there's a cycle, you know. But yeah, okay. Scholars really don't do scholars really don't sovereign. If you check the Islamic history, you'll see corruption. You'll see corrupt scholars sway of fear. 100%, 100%. And every every person I've asked about like say, can you explain this to me? Oh, I'm not a scholar, dude. What do you mean? Why is there this tripwire? It's the same words, like it's built in, like it's scripted. Like, what do you mean you're not a scholar? Aren't you Muslim? Yes. Okay. So like, what's this mean? Oh, I'm not a scholar. Okay. What do you mean by? Do I not know what the word scholar means? Maybe I don't know. So I mean, like to me, it's if you're trying to convert me, know what you're talking about. So do you not actually know what's going on? I'm not talking about you, Throw, because obviously you're not trying to convert me. But I'm talking about people that I talked to when I was trying to figure stuff out. And then like when I go on, dude, and then the hadiths, that's a freaking shit show, dude. Shit gets nuts in there, and then it's like it gets crazy. It gets crazy. And the problem is whenever something uncomfortable comes up, like people are like, "Oh, I'm not a scholar, I'm not a scholar." Dude, what do you? How do you feel about this? How do you like? You know, and we don't have to bring up what I'm talking about here, but it's I just they can't get the answers they need from the Quran, so they've got to go to the Hadiths. But then when I go to the Hadiths, they say, "Well, no, it's not a strong Hadith," and I'm like, "Well, then what the freaking frack hole's going on?" Well, talk to your imam, talk to your scholars. Okay, well then, where did they get the information from? Because if they didn't get it from these sources, because it's not in there. So this is what I'm talking about. So then you get these political imams that are pushing a policy by saying this is what Muhammad would do. That's all I'm getting at. We ain't got to freaking go toe to toe at it. I just want to be proven wrong. And they do that in Christianity also. I'm not saying, I'm not saying it's different, but my point is, like, you get straight up fake, like, kid diddler Catholic priests, so I mean, so I'm not. I just think it's odd how easy it is to adapt the religion. Like I think when I was looking for God, I wanted to find stability, and yeah, I didn't really find it there. But then again, I couldn't find it there. I didn't have people of knowledge to freaking smack a noodle my hacking noodle. You know what I mean? No mean burn. Where's my dang hoodoo mom? My problem with Christian charlatans who preach the prosperity gospel using psychological techniques, kind of 100%, 100%. And the thing is, and you can see prosperity gospel in things like go get the COVID shot. It's like you're going to be delivered from this evil we call COVID if you just let Jesus COVID shot into your blood. That it's the same thing, but it works. So that's why evil people use it. But that's straight up like they've already been determined to be evil. They've already been. So I heard you calling my name now. My butthole's blue. My wrist is inflamed. The parable of the rich man, one of the easiest stories to comprehend that I've ever seen. Yeah. And all those outfits are tax exempt. Yup. Right. So think about this. Say you're 100% satanic, right? And then I mean, this is before the satanic church was tax exempt too. And you know that you wanted to take over the world, or you wanted an army, and you make twice as much money by paying zero taxes, basically. So then they start churches. So then people in the populace say, "Oh, well, this is religion. This is religion. These evil wackadoos." And those are charlatans. Okay. I can see where the confusion comes from, but really the hadith is the contact history and the explanation of some verses. Right, the explanation of some verses. Let me put my balls on the table first. I am still learning, but when I say things like explanation of the verses, that's what I've said to myself. Why do we need the hadith to explain the Quran? Then I hear when I say something else in the Hadith, they say, "Well, the Hadiths are just the Hadiths." I'm like, are they your holy sources or not? And that that's what yeah. But I'm not. I just want to let you know I'm not trashing it. I'm pissed off with how I've been treated trying to learn it. Okay, right, you don't need to fool yourself. All right, okay, like, and having read it side by side with the Bible, I'm going to tell you why you do. Maybe I shouldn't right now. Like, we don't know Muhammad's mom's name or dad's name. We don't know. We don't know a lot of shit about Muhammad at all from the Quran. His name's only in there 4 times, so like we need the Hadith. So, do you need them or don't you need them? And then sometimes, and the thing is, then I feel like people are pulling the wool over my eyes. Then I see the human part of this. I'm like, okay, this ain't this is this dude trying to frickin' he gets $25 if he convinces me to that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like to me. It's like they're like, just sign on the dotted line, then figure it out. Okay, well, wait. Yeah, it's really tonight. Tonight thy soul will be required of thee. Doesn't mean that you don't. Hold on. Doesn't mean that you don't need it all. Same aspect like prayer will require you to check out the prophet did. Right. So do you need so then and then like let's listen. I think you understand that I'm just showing my discouragement of it. I'm not trying to be fuck you and your stupid religion. That's not what I'm trying to say. Um like and because there's Christians and there's Baptists and there's Catholics that all read the Bible, and so it gets weird. Good idea, lamb. Um um Now I forgot what I was saying. Something about, okay, you said it doesn't mean that you don't need it. Okay, right. So then there's Quran only Muslims, right? And then like, to me, if maybe it's because it's not the way I would have done it. Uh Maybe it's not the way I would have done it. But then again, I'm Richard in freaking Atlanta. I ain't freaking God. I'm not Allah. Um, but it almost seems like if I was going to print a book and I wanted to make sure that people would buy the next copies, I would leave it open ended. If my motives were to continue to add to it later, that's how I would have done it. And dude, like, so I was reading um it wasn't Bakari, who was it? Damn, what the hell was his name? Uh they were talking about it was talking about when the Muslims were talking about if God if John gave his gospel to Jesus, and the guy who said that was a Muslim scholar, and then I believe I'll have to find his name, his hadith. Um, I've got I'll show it to you. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. I'll put it. I'm on my phone right now, so I can't pull anything up. Um, and the scholar said, "Oh, I guess I'll use my computer." And I guess I'm not. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I guess it was Nasar al-Din al-Albani, who had to it from 1914 to 1999. He had to reevaluate Abdul Dawood al-Tamiridi al-Nasali and Ibn Majah. So he identified Sahih and Daif. The original contact was Bukhari, the most famous rigorous removal of narrations. The so basically in early 1900s, 98% of the Muslim source material. What's up, Fat? My mod. By the way, your mods are gay. They keep removing. They definitely don't, Fat. I promise you. If they removed it, it would say removed by their name. If it's you, and I have zero moderation on. I promise. I promised you. I promise. I promise. Look. I'll make you a moderator, dude. There you go. So they definitely weren't. I promise. If it was them, it would say what was removed and their name that removed it. I'm not gay. So okay. So Yasir Qadi removed 98% of Muslim source material, restricting it's inauthentic. I'm not gay. He ultimately included only about 7,255, including repetitions, in his Sahih collection, meaning he discarded 98% of the material he encountered because it did not meet the strict criteria for authenticity. Okay, so first of all, who is this guy in 1919 to say what's what? He wasn't there. So, how many people have been feeding bullshit? If it's true, if this is true that this was bullshit, how did 98% of the shit in Muslim sources get blended? And so, what I came upon was, I can't remember what it was called. What I find fascinating is that when God's message gets hijacked, he sends someone to smack the shit out of it. Agreed. Agreed. That happens a lot. Um, a Saudi scholar who criticized, yeah. Okay. So well, let's do. So Maliki said he had criticized false hadith culture, like it was a culture. Hassan at Malik, a Saudi scholar who has criticized the false hadith culture, argued many widely accepted hadith should be rejected if they contradict the Quran. Then this guy here, Yasar Qadi, has been involved in high-profile controversies for removal of scholarly articles. So you got people here, and I get people that try to teach me stuff, and then they're like, "Let me check if that's still true." Like, what do you mean still true, dude? So maybe this is why we're not allowed to question trans person gender identity. How do we know that Jesus wasn't a trans woman? we Because he said he's God. If we're not allowed to question transracialism, because he didn't have tits, he was naked on the cross. He was naked on the cross, fat. Yeah. You see where I'm getting at? That it seems like whenever somebody from what I was reading, it seemed like whenever somebody wanted something politically, they would say, "Oh, we found another hadith that says I am allowed to take 3% more of your money or whatever." So people just started adding and say, "I got new hadiths. I got new in like the 1800s and 1900s," and then so they called it false hadith culture. So there's been this whole big wackadoodle thing about what's true and what's not, what's strong and what's weak. And so, like, I'm just like, dude, guys, seriously. Yeah. But the Quran tells us to read the Bible, so I read the Bible. Because that's quite interesting, most authentic. Right. Right. I agree. I agree. Who allowed these people to write the hadith? Who was given permission and why? And why he walked with the he walked with the prophet. Okay, cool. Maybe he was an asshole. So he wanted to he was upset that the prophet was getting chicks. So he said, you got to freak, and this is what this is what drives me crazy, dude. I got so like I almost want to walk up to Islam and be like, "Get your shit together so I can figure this out." I don't know. Understand your point. Actually facts to increase. But gotta speak out. Agreed. I mentioned before about how I got some facts. Oh, okay. Hold on. I actually got some facts that will. What's your point? I actually got some facts that will increase it. But right. Yeah. I understood what you were saying. I understood what you were saying. But I tell you what, it's very. If I was younger and dumber, not dumber, younger and less mature, younger and less mature. So I spent enough of my life being lied to about shit for people's own gain. And so now I'm very critical of anything. And so if I decide that I'm going somewhere after this earthly life, I'm not letting people bullshit me. And on both sides of the coin, there's bullshitters. There's 100%. There's fake ass dawah guys. There's fake ass freaking Catholic freaking preachers that fly planes and that need millions of dollars for private jets and shit. And it seems to right now, at least where I'm at in my education, it seems that it's very hijackable. The Muslim hadith culture is. I don't understand why it's so difficult. I went to masjid. I went to masjid and told them what happened in my life, and they said I'm lying. Those only happen to prophets, and there are no more prophets. But you are young. You look about 26. I was like, okay, I'll man it up, so, brother. And this is a problem. I would be if I all who gave this guy that can remove hadith, who gave him power to do that? And if he's got the power to remove 98% of whatever hadith he went over, who put them there and who gave him the authority to do that? How is any of this even possible? Fat, abusing children. Where in the scriptures it say we should abuse children? Quite opposite, my friend. Back in the 7th century, Arab tribes like to bury their children in the Quran. Stop that. Muslims follow prophets, Jews follow prophets. I get what you're saying. That's a word. Joke on nerds. Play on words. Prophets and prophets. It's all. Oh, you know, it's probably let me think about that. And so I'll tell you what too. What's difficult about what I would very dislike is that it's always a battle. Like I see Muslims online that are always battling bullshit. And the thing is, if you got a hadith that says you got to freaking, I'm just making this up. If you have a hadith that says you got to raise your right hand when you fart, that was my left hand, whatever. And people are doing it, and then they say, "Dude, that was something like a joke that was told to the Prophet Muhammad or whatever." It's just like, it's like people are doing these things, people are using, and then you have people on their own camp telling him, "No, you idiot, didn't you realize that was just a dream?" Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no, they didn't, because there's 700,000 pages of shit to read, and I can see why it's rough. Throwaway, are you dumb, Muhammad? Right? Dude, fat. He's not dumb. He's Muslim. Yeah, and that's a big thing too. And I don't want to piss anybody off, and that's his religion. Yesterday about this topic, when someone denies a certain authentic hadith, right? But the problem is what authentic hadiths are overturned tomorrow because some dude in 1919 was allowed to do this, or was born in 1919, was allowed to do this. And because I don't know Muslim culture, I don't know not Muslim culture, I don't know Islam jamulation, what do they call it? Like how they decide what is attributable to the prophet or not. If I was a liar, he's not dumb, he's Muslim. That's not I'm saying he's not dumb, comma, he's Muslim and understands this. It's not ignorance on his part. And say, right, that's what I was trying to get at. It's not I'm sure he knows what his prophet did and didn't do. I forgot what I was talking about. So here's the thing, and this is why I want to say this, Throw. If I was a government operative for another religion, this is what I would be doing to sow doubt and confusion in Muslims. This is what I would do. I would do all this wackadoodle shit saying in the year 2020 that oh well, this big chunk is now in question because this is, and it's just like, yeah, that would piss me off. And it hasn't stopped me from learning. That's for sure. It hasn't stopped me from learning, but I would like to be able to purchase and have paper volumes of sources. Plot twist: using God to make money is a ticket to. I was taking his name. Yeah, first class ticket to hell. Yeah, absolutely. Take his name in vain. 100%. And people know this. People know this. They either made a deal with the devil where they think that because they're doing the devil's work, they're not going to be burning for eternity in hell. They're going to they're going to have a seat and do the burning to other people. Your interpretation of Islam is sentimental, subjective, and not objective. If you're not interested in seeing the negative, of course, I don't know, because you won't give something to child. Hey, what am I saying here? Your interpretation is it sentimental, subjective, and not objective. You're not interested in seeing the negative. I'm talking throw. Okay, gotcha. No, like, hey, like, I would hope that he would see all it for its scabs too. But this is a problem. So going back to what I was saying, you have weak and strong hadith. So the way people that are anti-Muslim or anti-Islam, who knows about the 72 child virgins or what? I don't even, so it's like, where's the, I don't know, it's a big problem. And it's like, these are the kind of questions when they say, hey, talk to a scholar. And I mean, I've never had to ask about that. I see your point, Richard. That's why people got to be careful. Right. And so what I like to do is I like to have available quickly where I get my, I don't like talking to humans because they lie a lot. Right. And if I'm talking to someone that gets a benefit out of whatever they're trying to sell to me, I don't like that. So I would like to go to the sources. I would like to go to the sources and say, okay, I'll read it. I'm a human, and if it was written for us, I'll be able to figure it out in the reading. And then I spend months reading shit, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well that's an old book from that's the 1929 edition. This was removed from the Hadith sprint edit." Oh, cool, kick ass. So then I'm told keep up to date on the online version. Changes will be made so that you don't get confused. And I'm thinking that's confusing. If I want to go to Mars and I want to take my religion with me and don't have internet back to Earth, I want to know if this part is not correct. I don't know, and that's tough. That's tough. But like there's a lot of wackadoodle shit written. So like non-biblical. So you would consider these hadiths for Christians, the apocryphal texts that have wacky shit too. Jesus having a girlfriend. I mean, that's not as bad as some of the stuff that's on. But the thing is, when teaching and using, like, why are they all, what does the word hadith mean? What, I don't even know what so he names it. I throw away right. My own logic, I interpret my beliefs that your guide my, ooh, dude. Be respectable. Let me see here. I see my Lord as King of all. Right. And this is the thing. Let's not tear each other down. Let's learn and figure this out. So because obviously there's and this is the problem. This is a problem. If I wanted to hijack Islam, I would inject shit like this into the holy books. Whether it's true or not, I don't know because I can never get a straight answer. But he doesn't live in the West, Fat. He lives in what I meant is we take the interpretations of our prophet. Oh, take interpretations of right. Gotcha. Let's see. All right. I gotta poop. What up, Jerry? Howdy, I ordered a Hollywood mic. Supposed to come in there today. All right, good. Oh. These guys. And that's what you wanted for Christmas. Definitely most Muslims are not. So I mentioned that too. Most of us Muslims, Christians, we don't know 90% of our own religion, and it sucks when it gets hijacked. So Jerry, whenever you want to get started, buddy, let me know, and I can help you connect that to the software, whether you're using a phone or not. All right, I got I'm not gonna take. I'm gonna take my phone with me to the toilet, and then I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go back to bed. So I'm gonna log off now. But appreciate everybody coming through, and I love you guys. Jerry, anybody hit me up on Discord if you need anything, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna head to bed after this. Love you guys. Thanks. Bye bye.